Hello, amazing artists. Today, we are going to be using Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as our inspiration for our art project. Please be sure to explore this slide on Schoology first before getting started. You may choose one or more of the activities. This month, we have been exploring lettering. Remember, lettering is the art of drawing letters, not simply writing them. You might remember the first week we talked about first writing out all capital letters and then just drawing around the outline to make bubble letters. And then last week we talked about simply again writing out capital letters and then using ovals around them as another method of creating bubble letters. What I want you to do this week is I want you to choose a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. You can look online and find any quote you would like. I decided to use the quote, "The time is always right to do what is right." What you want to do first to get started is you want to take a piece of paper and you want to make a border around the entire piece of paper. You might remember that we did this when we were working on our Faith Ringgold project. Remember when we were working on the quilt, we made a border around the edge? I said then that you can use a ruler or any kind of straight edge to give yourself a nice border. What you want to do is use lettering to create your composition. If you feel confident working directly with a marker or a Sharpie, you can just get started right away. If you want to start with pencil, you can do that. I jumped right in with my Sharpie and I first wrote my quote all in the space that I made from my ruler. Next, I decided to have thick and thin lines as well as a few designs and lines in and around my letters. You can see I decided to make a couple lines a little more thicker by drawing over them a few times and filling in some of that negative space. And then I added a couple lines and shapes on each of my letters to make them pop. Remember, lettering is the art of drawing letters, not simply writing them. So what can you do to draw on your letters? Once you have finished with writing out your quote and adding different lines and designs and thick and thin areas, you're going to add color. You can color in any of the negative spaces, however you like, and then you want to color in the background as well. You can see I use a lot of shading and blending as I go from one color to another. What I actually am trying to remember to do as I'm coloring, if I'm using one color for, say, orange, then the color that's next to it on the color wheel is either yellow or red, and so those would be great colors to use when blending the background. So I tried in this sample to use mostly the cool colors on some of those bolder areas, and then in my entire background I have used the warm colors. You can use whatever you have at home to add color to your quote. You might decide to use markers and lines and designs and patterns. Maybe you want to use crayons, or if you have colored pencils, you might want to give this a try when you're shading and blending and layering the colored pencils like I am doing. But you can decide to do whatever you like. Be creative. Remember friends, for this project you are going to choose whatever quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that you would like to use. You are going to use lettering to draw the letters and create the quote, and then you're going to color all the positive and negative spaces in and around the letters. When you are done, don't forget to head over and fill out the Google form so you can receive credit. And if you would like to share your project with me, I would love to see what you create. You can share a message with me on Schoology, or you can head over to Flipgrid and show us what you have made. This quote is a great reminder. The time is always right to do what is right. Ta-da! All finished. Until next time, friends, remember to stay creative.